Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh turns 60. The stunning portrait, she's a trailblazer. The Duchess of Edinburgh is said to be celebrating her birthday privately with husband Prince Edward. Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, is marking a milestone birthday. She turned 60 on January 20th, and friends and former colleagues have been honouring her contribution to the royal family amid the release of the Duchess' stunning new portrait. Sophie, who will be celebrating the milestone birthday privately at home at Bagshot Park, Surrey, with husband Prince Edward, also 60, was captured at the royal residence by photographer Christina Ebenezer. In the beautiful portrait, Sophie is seen mid-laugh while sitting on a window ledge in a black turtleneck sweater and a white skirt. Sophie is admired for her steadfast and quiet support of the late Queen Elizabeth II and now King Charles III in the new reality of a smaller coterie of working royals. With Prince Andrew and Prince Harry no longer working within the royal family, more attention has focused on Sophie and Edward in recent years. Indeed, it was Edward, who notably represented the royals and the UK in general at the funeral of the late President Jimmy Carter earlier in this month. It was Sophie who volunteered at hospitals during the COVID pandemic, helping create and pack food for medics and other staff. And in addition to being the patron of more than 70 charities and organizations, Sophie has also gained particular attention for highlighting less obvious royal subjects, such as women who have been victims of gender-based violence in wartime. One close source notes she was the first royal family member to go to Ukraine. She is almost a trailblazer in the royal family, a royal insider says. She is the first member of the royal family that I can remember who has talked about the menopause. Areas which have previously been no-go, she has embraced and championed, the source says. It is hugely appreciated by the voices who might not otherwise be heard or listened to. In October 2023, she visited with some women in Ethiopia who had been displaced by war and were survivors of gender-based violence. And last March, she spoke movingly about the issue virtually at a conference held in Kiev, Ukraine. Survivors here and around the world have spoken out so bravely about their experiences, she said at the time. They are the most powerful advocates who remind us all that we must not turn our backs on the horrors of this crime. We must never forget the survivors. She also champions work to boost eyesight health around the world, visiting clinics in Malawi, Africa and Bangladesh, among others. Both Sophie and Edward are keenly aware of the future and the changing face of the royal family. Their children daughter Lady Louise Windsor, 21, and son James, Earl of Wessex, 17, are away at the University of St Andrews and boarding school, respectively, and it is likely that they will have very different roles to their cousin, Prince William, and his wife, Kate Middleton, or their 3 children. Sophie told the Sunday Times in 2020 that, "We try to bring them up with the understanding that they are very likely to have to work for a living. Hence we made the decision not to use HRH titles. They have them and can decide to use them from 18, but it's highly unlikely. But they also relish the royal traditions, regularly joining in Trooping the Colour, while Lady Louise has enthusiastically taken up her late grandfather Prince Philip's sport of carriage driving.